Hey y'all, I didn't want anything really. I just came on here to say, I stand with Snoop. That's it. I stand with Snoop. I don't care what you do in your own adult life, but some things are just not appropriate for children. Why can't we just let children be children anymore? Like, why?
Snoop Dogg is in trouble again, and this time he has the Letter Crew after him. The Letter Crew is incensed because they're lying, saying that he disrespected the LGBTQ community, which he didn't. He voiced his opinion on something which he's entitled to have his opinion, right? He's entitled to have his opinion just as much as they're entitled to live the lifestyle that they choose to live. Now, it's surrounded around the situation with the Buzz Lightyear movie that came out in 2022. He was on a podcast, one of these podcasts called the Giving Podcast, and they were talking about today's time with the children and the technology, and he told a story about he went to the movies with one of his grandchildren, and the grandchild seen two women together. They had a baby, and his grandson woke him up and said, "Papa, Poppy Snoop, how they got a baby and there's two women?" So he said that he was afraid, like he didn't even know what to say. He was caught off guard, right? So now because he said that and he was saying, I just came to watch the movie. I didn't come and be explaining this to a children. The LGBTQ community is upset, saying he disrespected them. He didn't say anything disparaging about the LGBTQ community, but these are the tactics that they use, right? And they even some of them are even threatening them, saying that man, it's just a whole bunch of stuff, man, right? But let's listen to what some the people that are upset have to say, because they're really upset with Snoop Dogg. Like, they're coming for Snoop Dogg, and they're telling him how he should think, what he should say, how he should explain certain things. Well, how would you? Who are you to tell him how he should explain something to his grandchildren, right? As long as he wasn't spreading hate, he wasn't spreading hate. He has every right to handle it the way he want to handle it. But check this out.
I'm gonna tell you why the Snoop Dogg comment is irritating me so much. And if you don't know what Snoop Dogg said, let me tell you real quick. And I'm obviously gonna paraphrase it. He was being interviewed and he was complaining that he brought his grandkid to Lightyear, the movie Lightyear. It's a Pixar movie. I personally didn't see Lightyear, but I guess there's parents in the movie that are moms. So same-sex marriage. And he's complaining that they're putting it everywhere and like, now I'm gonna have to explain things. And like, I'm not even gonna get into that argument of it because it's like, oh, okay, you don't wanna have to explain things. There's really nothing to explain. It's just like that kid has two moms. Like, there's no explanation needed. But aside from that, the first thing that comes to my mind is how I don't think that Snoop Dogg would have any problem whatsoever having a music video or watching a music video where two women are making out. And all I'm saying is, if you have a problem with women being depicted in a relationship together and not a problem with women making out at parties, why? And I didn't hear once Snoop Dogg come out and say in the early 2000s, all of you need to stop putting women making out in your videos. Not once. He was pretty silent on that. So yeah, I'm a little sad. I feel like we lost Snoop Dogg, but I had already known that because I saw his true colors during the election. So this didn't shock me at all. And don't come in the comment section like, oh, well, this is a movie for kids. Okay, your kids are going to see everything in life. Are you not trying to prepare them? Are you not a parent? When my kid asks a question, why does that person have two moms? I go, because they do. Next question.
So Snoop Dogg's afraid to go to the movies now because he took his granddaughter to see the movie Lightyear, and it had a lesbian couple in it. So now he's afraid to go to the movies. Snoop Dogg, who was on trial for murder, is afraid to go to the movies because he might see two women in a relationship together. And people in the comments are like, oh, I'm with Snoop. Why they gotta jam it down our throats? Why they gotta flaunt their agenda? Bro, when we were growing up, we watched movies where talking dogs kissed each other and made talking dog babies. We watched a movie where a fish lady grew legs and then tried to marry a guy who never even knew her name. We watched a movie where an 11-year-old boy wrote a $1 million check to himself and cashed it. And then when he gets caught at the end of the movie, the 31-year-old FBI agent tells him to call her in 10 years and then kisses him on the lips. So don't tell me it's perverted or that we're corrupting the children, because you don't really have a problem with couples being depicted in children's movies. It's only when they're not straight, right? Because this wasn't a lesbian porno. There was no sex scene. It wasn't material to the plot. It just happened to show two people existing in a world, in a loving relationship, who just both happen to be women. So I beg you, look deep within inside yourself. Have a tough conversation with yourself. Try to put your biases aside and ask yourself why you have this double standard.
Now again, Snoop Dogg has a right to his opinion and the way that he wants to handle it, as long as he's not spreading hate or insinuating any hurt towards anybody. But again, the LGBT community is, to me, they're the ones now spreading forms of hate, because you're threatening him online and telling him how he should say certain things to suit your own narrative. And no, it shouldn't be that way. As long as he didn't say anything disparaging about the community. Now, let me address the part with the two women kissing each other, two adults. Those are two consenting adults. We're having a conversation now about children, and you putting this stuff in the face of children to the point where you have to ask the question. So the two don't compare. The two don't compare. Whatever Snoop Dogg chooses to do as an adult with other adults, that's adult stuff. But when you're pushing certain things to undeveloped brain children, that's when it becomes a problem. So let's stop playing the games here, man, right? But let's really look into what Snoop Dogg said that got him in all this trouble in the first place, and then we'll come right back.
I want to know what you think, and not to dog either side, no pun intended, not to dog out in either side. But I do feel like, because we're in this single mother epidemic where there are a lot of single moms, I think moms are raising women in their sons. I think that they're coddling their sons and they're hardening their daughters. And so I feel like we're inverted, especially in our community, where women are much more masculine and men are much more feminine. And I don't like that.
See, that goes back to the presentation I spoke to you earlier. What you see is what you see. They putting it everywhere.
Yeah.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
With Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's fuck me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
What'd you tell them?
Watch the movie. Eat this popcorn. Shh.
You said, we don't know.
It threw me for a loop. I'm like, what part of the movie was this? These are kids that we have to show that at this age, like
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask. I don't have the answer.
Yeah. And I don't even know the answer that's rehearsed. What am I supposed to say? Is what was the lady used to be I got questions. Now I got questions.
Me too. And I was just there to go to sleep and watch the movie. That nigga woke me up. I'm in there. Huh? They just said that she had a baby. How? They both women's. Oh, man, damn. Yeah, eat this popcorn.
So crazy what they teach you so young, because one of my nieces was telling me, she's like, yeah, I think I have anxiety. I was like, okay, first of all,
you don't even need
13.
to know that word.
You don't even know what that is. Then she's telling me all these different things they teach you in school. They're teaching you about anxiety and depression. And then, you diagnose yourself. Well, I'm really tired now, and I've just been feeling really sad. I'm depressed. No, you're not. You know what? You need to go outside.
And play.
You need to roll in that grass. You need to eat something green. You need to drink some water. And you need to stop looking at the screens. I'm so tired of screen time. What do you think about these kids and screen time?
Well, you notice I don't have a phone on me.
Oh.
Professional. I think it's good and bad.
Yeah.
Because all of my grandkids know how to work an iPad, a telephone, all of that.
Yeah.
And some of them ain't even like can talk a whole sentence.
Dang.
But they all know how to dancing or they
Yeah, they get the
or they sit on the
filters.
couch all day just on the iPad. Like, okay, all right. Go outside, do some rare.
So as you hear that, to me, in my opinion, Snoop didn't say anything so disparaging about the community. To me, it was just like he was caught off guard. Another thing too, like that, he's the grandfather. We don't know what the parents of that child might want, the conversations that they might have with their own child. That's not Snoop Dogg's place to have that type of conversation with his grandson without the permission of the father and the mother, right? He's the grandfather. They have that child's a father and a mother, and they may have a different stance diametrically opposed to the LGBTQ community, and y'all can't force them to say anything that you want them to say in regards to teaching a child. They're gonna say what they gonna say what they deem fit. And this is where we go wrong. But the whole thing with this, Snoop Dogg didn't have a bunch of detractors. He has a bunch of people that's also siding with him, that's taking his side. And there's a battle now going. Battle lines have been drawn, and there's a battle line going on now on social media where you have people defending Snoop, and you have people coming against Snoop. Check this out.
So there are actually people upset with Snoop Dogg because he said he doesn't want his grandson being introduced to homosexuality in a Disney movie. Why are you mad? If you're really upset about the whole Snoop Dogg situation, I'm staying far away from you because obviously you're a weirdo. Kids should not know about sex. I thought everybody knew that. Apparently not.
Snoop Dogg said it best. He is actually scared to take his grandson to the movies now. And honestly, same. Imagine paying $40 for tickets and popcorn just to end up explaining to your 5-year-old everything about adult agendas. Nope, not doing it. I came for Buzz Lightyear, not a lecture. Kids' movies used to be about, I don't know, toys that talk, fish that get lost, maybe a talking crab. Now it's like every scriptwriter has a checklist. Talking animal? Check. Rainbow lecture? Check. Confused kids? Check. And Snoop's right. Why is it everywhere? You want to make movies for adults? When we're talking about kids' films, keep it clean. Keep it innocent. Let kids be kids without throwing in storylines that they're not ready for. So yeah, Snoop and I are on the same page. Leave our kids out of your agenda. Period. End of story. Enjoy your movie.
The alphabet community is mad at Snoop. There's a clip going around of Snoop Dogg in this interview he recently did with this radio show or podcast, I believe. He's basically telling the story of the time he took his grandson to the movies to see the new Buzz Lightyear movie, the Toy Story spinoff. Then it gets to that controversial scene that everyone was talking about when the movie was about to be out in theaters, right? Of two women having a baby together. Snoop's grandson turns to Snoop while he's like halfway asleep through the movie and says, "Papa Snoop, they just said she and she about to have a baby. How can they have babies when they're two women?" Snoop is like, shh. We're just here to watch the movie. You ain't finna get me in trouble. Snoop was basically saying how that movie really confused his young grandson. Because even at his age, I believe he was 6 or something at the time, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. How's it that kid understood what the hell was going on and questioned it? You know what I'm saying? Even he could see the propaganda. And this is a stance I've always had. Leave the kids out of that crap.
So I'll say this because I'm not homophobic. I believe that I believe in gay rights. I believe that every human being should have a right to their own humanity. That's what I believe in. I believe that everybody should have rights. I have gay people in my family, first cousins that I love. That's my aunts and uncles' children, right? That I love. And I believe that they should have just as many rights as I have, right? Because like I said, I'm not homophobic. They afford it. But I also believe that there's times and places for everything. The same as it is for heterosexual people, right? I don't believe in sharing bathrooms with women or playing in women's sports. I don't believe in none of that stuff. I believe in your right to live your lifestyle, but there has to be a separation behind certain things and the way certain things are presented. So I just, when they say, well, y'all ain't got a problem promoting a man and woman together, yeah, because a man and a woman is what brings forth life. And the child, is, for the most part, should be growing up in the house seeing a man and woman, his father and his mother. So we're going to disagree on certain things. But like I said, man, listen, everybody has a right to living life, but what you don't have a right to do is tell people how they should do things. You don't have a right to tell people how they should teach their kids, and how as long as they're not teaching hate or harm or harming anybody. And Snoop Dogg didn't mention anything about hate or harming anybody, but they want to push this agenda so bad, this all-inclusive agenda, 2030 agenda, that they were going to go to any lengths in order to push it, right? And they don't care who they squash in their way. And I've been told you guys about there's gay people, gay family members, and then there's the agenda. There's a difference between the two, right? And I know how to separate the two because I've been studying this stuff that's coming down the pike for a very long time, man. And like I said, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. People gonna be who they are. You can't change people, and I'm not trying to change nobody. At my age, down a half a century, listen, if that's who you are, then that's who you are, man. It is what it is. But don't try to force nothing on me or try to force me to be okay with certain things that I might not be okay with. Like I said, I don't have if that's the lifestyle you want to live, then fine, I'm all for it. And I think you should have rights, right? But you don't have a right to force me to be okay with something. Because the thing is this, I'm not homophobic, but I disagree with homosexuality. I don't like it. But my love for my people supersedes my dislike for it. I love my people, whether black, whether you're straight, gay, whatever. I love all my people. I'm hardcore black first, right? But I disagree with the lifestyle, right? That don't mean that I don't love you. That don't mean I discriminate against you. That don't mean I make you feel uncomfortable if you was in my presence. No. I still love you. You're still my brother. You're still my sister. I just disagree with your lifestyle, and I have every right to disagree with it, as long as I'm not trying to hurt or harm you. That's where I'm at with it. And Snoop Dogg had every right to voice his opinion in the manner in which he voiced it. That's it, man. So I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love you all. Till the next time. Peace.